Imagine standing at the edge of your dreams, knowing that one small step could change everything, but hesitation creeps in, and the moment slips away. What if I told you that the wisdom of a man who inspired millions could light the path to your success? Jim Rohn, a farm boy from Idaho, turned his life around and shared 70 years of pure wisdom that's still transforming lives today. In this video, we're diving deep into his timeless lessons on taking action, setting goals, and achieving financial freedom, blended with fresh insights to make these ideas work for you in 2025 and beyond. Stick with me, because by the end, you'll have a clear roadmap to unlock your potential, plus a challenge that could spark your next big breakthrough. Let's not just dream, let's make it happen. Here we go. Picture this: you're struck by a brilliant idea. Maybe it's starting a side hustle, writing a book, or finally getting in shape. Your heart races, your mind buzzes with possibility. But then, a week passes. A month. That fire? It's gone. Jim Rohn called this the law of diminishing intent. When the emotion is high and the idea is hot, that's the moment to act. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. He said, take action, not hasty if it isn't required, but don't lose much time. If you want a library like the one that transformed Rohn's life, don't just dream about it. Get the first book today. Then the second. Before the feeling fades, before the idea dims. Picture this: you're struck by a brilliant idea. Maybe it's starting a side hustle, writing a book, or finally getting in shape. Your heart races, your mind buzzes with possibility. But then, a week passes. A month. That fire? It's gone. Jim Rohn called this the law of diminishing intent. When the emotion is high and the idea is hot, that's the moment to act. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. He said, take action, not hasty if it isn't required, but don't lose much time. If you want a library like the one that transformed Rohn's life, don't just dream about it. Get the first book today. Then the second. Before the feeling fades, before the idea dims. Why does this matter? Because waiting kills dreams. I've seen it in my own life. A few years ago, I had an idea for a passion project, a podcast to share stories of everyday people achieving extraordinary things. I was fired up, but I told myself, I'll start when I have more time. Months turned into a year, and the idea felt cold, distant. Then I stumbled across Rohn's advice. I bought a cheap microphone that same day, recorded my first episode, and now that podcast has reached thousands. The lesson? The smallest action, taken immediately, can set off a chain reaction. What's your first book? Is it signing up for a course, downloading a budgeting app, or calling a mentor? Whatever it is, do it before this video ends. Trust me, that one step will feel like a victory. Rohn's genius lies in connecting action to discipline. He believed all disciplines affect each other. Everything affects everything else, he said. Skip your morning walk, and you're less likely to eat that apple. Neglect your health, and your focus at work slips. Before you know it, 6 years pass, and you're stuck, wondering where it all went wrong. But the flip side is just as powerful: every new discipline lifts every other area of your life. Start journaling, and you'll crave better books. Read those books, and you'll want to master new skills. It's a virtuous cycle. I started small, writing one sentence a day about something I was grateful for. That tiny habit led me to read more, which inspired me to take a coding course, which landed me a side gig. One discipline snowballs into a life you never thought possible. Let's get practical. Rohn's advice isn't just philosophy, it's a blueprint. He urged us to capture emotion and wisdom through disciplined action. Say you're inspired to improve your health. Don't just feel the spark, act on it. Buy a book on nutrition before the idea cools. Fall on the floor and do 10 push-ups. Sounds simple, right? But simplicity is the point. Success isn't about grand gestures, it's about consistent, small choices. I remember a friend who wanted to run a marathon but hadn't exercised in years. Instead of overthinking, she followed Rohn's advice. She laced up her sneakers and jogged for 5 minutes. Just 5. That was her push-up. Today, she's crossed the finish line of 3 marathons. What's your 5-minute jog? Find it, do it, and watch how it transforms you. Now, let's talk about why discipline is the ultimate game changer. It builds self-worth. Rohn warned that the slightest lack of discipline erodes your psyche. One of the greatest temptations is to just ease up a little bit, he said. Think about it. You promise yourself you'll study for an hour, but you cut it to 30 minutes. You tell yourself it's just one day, but that choice chips away at your confidence. Neglect starts as an infection and, left unchecked, becomes a disease. I've been there. I used to skip workouts, thinking, it's just one day. But those skipped days turned into weeks, and I felt worse about myself each time. Rohn's fix. Start with the smallest discipline that aligns with your values. For me, it was making my bed every morning. Sounds trivial, but that one act gave me a sense of control, which spilled into other areas: better eating, better work habits, better mindset. Rohn's challenge to kids applies to us all: weave a tapestry of disciplined habits. Start with one more push-up, one more page, one more kind word. Each thread strengthens the fabric of your life, creating a vessel for wisdom, courage, and faith. When I began applying this, I noticed something incredible. The early wins, like finishing a book or hitting a savings goal, lit a fire in me. I couldn't go back to my old ways. Rohn was right, the early return will have you so excited, you'll commit to this strategy for the rest of your life. So, join the new crowd. Ditch the excuses. What's one discipline you can start today? Write it down, and let's build that tapestry together. Let's shift gears to a story Rohn loved: The Richest Man in Babylon. He recommended this book to over 3 million people, calling it a simple guide to wealth. It's easy to find, costs less than $10, and reads like a story, perfect for anyone, even teenagers. Yet, only 10% of his audience ever got it. Why? Because most people, 90%, won't act, even when it's easy. I used to be part of that 90%. I'd hear great advice, nod, and do nothing. Then I read The Richest Man in Babylon on Rohn's advice, and it flipped a switch. The book's core lesson, pay yourself first by saving 10% of your income, changed how I handled money. I started small, saving $10 a week from my part-time job. That habit grew into a savings account that gave me freedom to take risks, like starting my own business. The lesson? Easy actions, ignored by most, lead to extraordinary results. This brings us to Rohn's call to join the 3%. Only 3% of people have a library card, despite it being free and offering the wisdom of the world. Rohn's advice? Walk away from the 97%. Don't talk like they talk, act like they act, or cling to their excuses. Blaming the government or your boss won't change your life. Getting a library card might. I took this to heart and got my card. The first book I borrowed was about entrepreneurship. That book led to a mentor, who led to my first client. One simple choice, joining the 3%, set me on a new path. What's your version of a library card? Maybe it's a free online course, a local networking event, or a community group. Find it, and step into the 3%. Rohn's wisdom here is clear: success is simple, not complex. You don't need a guru or endless affirmations. Affirmation without discipline is the beginning of delusion, he warned. I learned this the hard way. I used to repeat positive quotes, hoping they'd magically fix my life. Spoiler, they didn't. What worked was labor, reading, practicing, failing, and trying again. When I started treating every day as a chance to plant seeds, my life bloomed. So, labor well. Pick one resource today: a book, a podcast, a mentor, and dive in. The harvest will come. Now, let's explore Rohn's economic insights. He puzzled over why two people at the same company, with similar backgrounds, could earn vastly different incomes. His answer: value. Value makes the difference in results, he said. You can't get more time, but you can create more value. This hit me hard. I was working a dead-end job, barely scraping by, while a colleague was thriving. The difference? She was always learning, taking courses, asking questions, building skills. I started doing the same, picking up digital marketing on the side. Within a year, I doubled my income. Value isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. What skill can you learn to boost your value? Coding, public speaking, financial planning. Start today, and watch your worth soar. Rohn's first lesson of economics is universal: we get paid for value, not time. From the moment kids understand what a dollar means, they should learn to bring value to the marketplace. I wish I'd known this earlier. In high school, I mowed lawns for cash, spending every penny. If I'd learned to invest or create value, like fixing and selling old bikes, as Rohn suggested, I'd have been miles ahead. Parents, teach your kids this now. And adults, it's never too late. Find a way to solve a problem, whether it's freelancing, tutoring, or creating content, and you'll never go hungry. Life, Rohn said, is like the seasons. You can't change them, but you can change yourself. This metaphor is a cornerstone of his philosophy, and it's shaped how I approach challenges. Let's break down his 4 major lessons for life, weaving in my own perspective to make them actionable for you. Lesson 1: Handle the winters. Winters are the tough times, recessions, heartbreaks, failures. They come regularly, like January follows December. Rohn said, you can't get rid of January by tearing it off the calendar, but you can get stronger, wiser, better. I've had my winters. In 2020, I lost my job during the pandemic. It felt like the world was crumbling. But I remembered Rohn's advice: don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. I used that time to learn new skills, graphic design and copywriting. By 2021, I was freelancing full-time, earning more than I had before. Winters don't last, but the strength you build does. What's your winter right now? A financial struggle, a health setback? Don't curse it, use it to grow. Sign up for a free course on Coursera, read a book on resilience, or talk to someone who's been there. Get wiser today. Lesson 2: Take advantage of the spring. Spring is opportunity, and it follows every winter. But Rohn warned, just because spring rolls around is no sign you're going to look good come fall. You must act fast, springs are fleeting. I missed plenty of springs in my 20s, too scared to seize opportunities like starting a blog or pitching a business idea. Then I learned to jump. When a friend offered to introduce me to a startup founder, I said yes, despite feeling unprepared. That connection led to a partnership that's still paying dividends. Opportunities are everywhere in 2025, AI tools, remote work, creator economies. But you must take advantage. What's your spring? A job opening, a chance to learn a new tool like ChatGPT? Act before it passes. Write down one opportunity you see right now, and commit to chasing it this week. Lesson 3: Protect your crops in summer. Summer is when your efforts take root, but bugs and weeds, distractions, doubters, temptations, threaten to steal your harvest. Rohn said, all good will be attacked. All values must be defended. I learned this running my first side hustle. I was making progress, but friends kept pulling me to happy hours, and social media was a constant distraction. I had to set boundaries, 2 hours of focused work daily, no exceptions. That discipline saved my project. Your crops might be a new business, a fitness routine, or a relationship. What's threatening them? Maybe it's procrastination or negative people. Defend your progress. Block one distraction today, mute a group chat, limit screen time, and protect what you've planted. Lesson 4, reap in the fall without complaint. Harvest time is about taking responsibility for your results, good or bad. Rohn said, learn to reap without apology if you do well, and without complaint if you don't. This is maturity. When my first business venture failed, I wanted to blame everyone, my partners, the market, bad luck. But Rohn's words stopped me. I took responsibility, analyzed my mistakes, and started again. That failure taught me more than any success. Your fall is coming, maybe it's a performance review, a project deadline, or a personal goal. Whatever the outcome, own it. Celebrate your wins without guilt, and learn from your losses without excuses. Write down one result you're facing soon, and commit to accepting it with grace. These seasonal lessons are a roadmap for life. But Rohn's deeper point is that change starts with you. You cannot change the seasons, but you can change yourself, he said. I used to think my circumstances, small-town upbringing, limited resources, defined me. But when I started changing my habits, my mindset, my skills, my world expanded. In 2025, with endless resources online, there's no excuse not to change. Platforms like YouTube, LinkedIn Learning, and even X offer free knowledge. Pick one area to improve, your health, your finances, your relationships, and start today. Change yourself, and everything changes. Let's dive into goal setting, Rohn's second pillar. He learned this from his mentor, Earl Schoaf, and it transformed his life. Decide what you want, Rohn said. Simple, but profound. Most people drift, letting others design their future. Not you. Take a moment, right now, and ask, what do I want? Better health? A thriving career? Travel? Write it down. Rohn's process is clear: decide, list, keep old lists, check off achievements. I started doing this 5 years ago. My first list included learning Spanish, saving $10,000, and visiting Japan. Checking off, learn Spanish, after months of Duolingo felt like a drug. That rush kept me going. Today, I'm fluent enough to hold conversations, and Japan is booked for next year. Lists work. Grab a notebook or your phone and write 3 goals before this video ends. Make them specific: how much, when, where. Rohn's twist on goals is what makes them powerful. They're not just about what you get, but who you become. Set the kind of goals that will make something of you to achieve them, he said. At 25, Schoaf urged Rohn to aim for $1 million, not for the money, but for the person he'd become. Rohn hit that goal by 31, lost it all by 33, and realized the real wealth was his skills, knowledge, and character. I had a similar wake-up call. I chased a high-paying job, thinking it'd solve everything. I got it, but I was miserable. The real win came from the skills I built, problem-solving, leadership, that let me pivot to work I love. Set goals that stretch you. Want to start a business? Don't just aim for profit, aim to become a resilient, creative entrepreneur. What goal will make you better? Write it down. Rohn's goal-setting ties to personal development. He advised treating the past as a school, not a burden. Learn from mistakes, don't dwell on them. I used to beat myself up over a failed relationship, replaying what I did wrong. Then I took Rohn's advice. I listed 3 lessons: better communication, setting boundaries, self-respect, and moved on. That shift freed me to build healthier connections. Your past is a teacher. What's one lesson it's taught you? Jot it down. Then, design your future with anticipation, not apprehension. Most people fear the future because it's vague. Make it clear with goals. I do this every January, mapping out my year: books to read, skills to learn, places to go. It's like drawing a treasure map. Try it. Plan 1 month ahead, and feel the excitement build. Rohn's biblical wisdom, ask, and you shall receive, is a masterclass in mindset. Asking starts the receiving process. It's like pushing a button that activates your mental machinery. But you must ask intelligently, be specific, and with faith, believe it's possible. I was terrible at this. I'd mumble vague dreams, like, I want to be successful. No wonder nothing happened. Then I got specific, I want to earn $5,000 a month freelancing by December 2025. I believed it, worked backward, and hit that goal 6 months early. Specificity and faith are magic. What do you want? Be clear, how much, when, why. And ask like a child, with curiosity and enthusiasm. Kids ask 1,000 questions, driving us crazy, but that's how they learn. Channel that. Ask your boss for feedback, ask a mentor for advice, ask the universe for a sign. Start asking today. Rohn's metaphor of the ocean drives this home. Success is abundant, like an ocean, but most people show up with a teaspoon. Trade it for a bucket. I did this literally. Early in my career, I took on small freelance gigs, thinking that's all I could handle. Then I pitched bigger clients, asking for projects I wasn't sure I could deliver. I got them, stretched myself, and grew. The ocean is there, AI startups, content creation, remote consulting. What's your bucket? A bold pitch, a new certification. Go bigger than you think you can. And don't let skepticism kill your childlike faith. Adults overthink, kids believe. I keep a photo of myself at 5, wide-eyed, to remind me to dream big. Find your reminder, a quote, a memory, and let it fuel your faith. Rohn's final pillar is financial independence, a goal he believed anyone could achieve in 20 years, from 15 to 35. His definition: living off the income of your personal resources, whether that's $2,000 or $100,000 a month. I love this because it's flexible, it's about freedom, not a specific number. I started late, at 28, but applied Rohn's principles and built a side income stream that covers my basics. It's not millions, but it's freedom. You can do this, no matter your starting point. The key is the right philosophy. Rohn contrasted two mindsets: the poor spend first and invest what's left, usually nothing; the rich invest first and spend what's left. This flipped my approach. I used to blow my paycheck on gadgets and nights out. Now, I invest 30% of every dollar before touching the rest. It's not about the amount, it's the habit. Rohn's formula for a dollar is genius: never spend more than 70 cents. The remaining 30 cents splits 3 ways: 10 cents for charity, 10 cents for active capital, 10 cents for passive capital. Let's break it down with my take. Charity builds character. I give 10% of my income to causes I care about, local shelters, education programs. It's not just about helping others, it makes me feel rich, no matter my bank balance. Active capital is about profits, not wages. Profits are better than wages, Rohn said. I started a small Etsy shop, buying thrift store finds, upcycling them, and selling for a profit. It's small, but it's teaching me entrepreneurship. Passive capital is where wealth grows: stocks, bonds, mutual funds. I started with a robo-advisor, putting in $50 a month. Compound interest is real. In 5 years, that small habit has grown into a nest egg I never thought possible. Rohn's biblical insight, the borrower is servant to the lender, changed how I see money. Be the lender, not the spender. I used to rack up credit card debt, feeling trapped. Now, I lend through peer-to-peer platforms and invest in index funds. It's not just about money, it's about power and freedom. Teach kids this early. I mentor a teenager who started a lawn mowing business. He saves 10% to buy tools, active capital, and 10% in a savings account, passive capital. At 16, he's richer than I was at 25. Start wherever you are. If you earn $1,000 a month, save $100, invest $100, give $100. Small habits compound into big futures. Attitude is the final piece. Rohn used to hate paying bills and taxes, until his mentor reframed it. Paying bills reduces liabilities and builds assets. Taxes feed the system that supports us. I adopted this mindset and now celebrate every bill paid. It's proof I'm moving forward. Taxes. I see them as my contribution to roads, schools, and opportunities. This shift made me a happier, more grateful person. Try it. Next time you pay a bill, say, "I'm building my future." It's cheesy, but it works. Rohn's 4 questions to ponder are the perfect way to wrap this up. First, why? Why work hard, read books, set goals? The answer is his second question, why not? Why not see how far you can go, how much you can achieve? I ask myself this daily. Why not aim for a 6-figure business? Why not run a marathon? It's a mindset shift that opens doors. Third, why not you? Rohn's story, from farm boy to millionaire, proves anyone can succeed. I'm no genius, but I've built a life I love by following these principles. You have the brains, the drive, the time. Why not you? Finally, why not now? 2025 is your year. The world is moving fast, remote work, new markets. There's no better time to start. Here's my challenge. Before this video ends, do 3 things. 1. Write down one goal that excites you. Be specific, how much, when, why. 2. Take one small action toward it. Buy a book, sign up for a course, make a call. 3. Share this video with someone who needs a spark. Tag them in the comments or send it directly. Let's build a community of doers, not dreamers. Then, subscribe and hit the bell. Every week, we're dropping wisdom to keep you on track. Why not you? Why not now? Let's make it happen. See you in the next one.